Hi, this is Mary Grace with 2024 Quilt in Review and plans for 2025. I had a list of approximately 10 quilts that I was going to do in 2024. Man, was that ambitious. Let's see how I did. Quilt number 1 was the Mickey quilt, which you may recall was the squares that I found at the thrift shop, and I ultimately turned them into my Friendship Star Quilting Guild. Quilt number 2 was a small quilt for the Friendship Star Quilting Guild. Accomplished. Number 3 was a winter applique quilt. This is my winter applique quilt that I just love. I mean, the way the cardinal turned out with where the snowflake perfectly became an eye, the accent embroidery stitching that I did, the long stitches that I did to echo quilting around it, 2 owls, and the window frame. I am really quite proud of this quilt. I think it got 3rd place at the Montgomery County Fair. I don't care. I love it. It's just beautifully has the winter theme as far as I'm concerned. So this was my true accomplishment quilt of the year. Okay, yeah, I know, wall hanging, but you know. Next on my list it says Snowflake Winter Crazy Quilt, Dog Crazy Patchwork. I do know I did make a Winter Crazy Quilt valance for my mother, and I assume that's what that means. Number 5 was the camp quilt, which I did get it all sewn together as a quilt top, and then it went off to camp and it was displayed on the wall, and I didn't get it back, so I haven't thought about it. And it's a lot. I'm contemplating turning it over to somebody to have it professionally quilted and log armed. That would cost me some money, but then it'd be done, and I could call that a donation. Next was the hexagon quilt for the owls, which I have made some real work on. This is my hexagon quilt. Now, this was my first time making hexagons, so it's a little wonky in places, and you can see here's the ground, and then here's a little bit of the sky peeking through, and then this is the tree. So I really think I could get that done in the year 2025, and it's on my 2025 list. Next was a flower cross stitch quilt. Then there was a bird flower quilt. I know what that is. Next was a skiing table runner. I did do that for my mother. I made a skiing table runner that matched the valance I had made her, but ultimately she made another wall hanging, which is fine. It had the bed sheets in it and everything. You'd have to go back to look at a prior video to see it, which is why I'm making this video today. I'm making it today. It's before Christmas, but I won't post it for once till New Year's, so it can come up right on that New Year's time frame, because one of my props is a Christmas gift, and I'll get to that in just a minute. So I gave her the skiing table runner bed sheet. Then I was supposed to make an owl valance. That didn't happen. And then I was going to make a dog cat candle wall hanging. I know what that is, but again, that didn't happen. So you're wondering, well, Mary Grace, what did happen? We've discussed the wall hanging that I entered in the fair. We've discussed the what will become a tree. And then on this tree, I'm going to hang things according to the season. Like in fall, it'll have owls on it. I've already made one of the owls. In wintertime, there'll be some winter snowflakes, cardinals, whatever on it. And summer, some butterflies and what have you. So that's I'm going to come my seasonal quilt. I made several things for my Friendship Star Quilting Guild. I think I finished 2 quilt tops. And then, under the quilt adjacent, I worked on this dog. As you can see, it's done in a crazy quilt manner. There is a note block has the same exact pattern of embroidery or buttons. I did repeat some of my stitches, but you know, it's got ribbon, it's got sequins, it's got beads, it's got a lot of different things. It got 2nd place in the Montgomery County Fair. And it's for my sister's 50th birthday, which happens to be December 31st, because back in March, she clicked on one of my postings and said, if you ever want to, well, actually, my other sister said, if you ever want to make me something, I want that. And my other sister said, me too. So the second sister, who's the middle sister, she turns 50 first, so she gets hers first. And I made hers in the shape of a dog because she likes dogs and she loves roses. So that's why there's all these roses on it. And that goes away. The next quilt adjacent thing I actually did complete was to make well, I didn't make this dress, obviously, but I added these gorgeous Dresden circles to this dress, and it just brightened up this cottagecore dress so much. I really love this dress so much more now. And those are the items that I completed, as far as I can recall, for 2024 that are quilt related. So the question is, what am I going to do in 2025? Well, obviously, I'm going to have to finish this quilt for the Friendship Star Quilt Guild, because right now it's just some squares pieced together. And I will probably turn this one in and pick up another one and do that one. So my goal is to do 2 quilt tops for the Friendship Star Guild. Then next, the Friendship Star Guild is going to have a quilt show in April. I hope you all come. And one of the challenges they had was a beach challenge. And so I am working on this beach scene with a crab. And I found in my stash, all this, well, that's not true. Half this material came from stash, and half of it I did go to the quilt store and bought a quarter of a yard. And, you know, there it goes. I am working on this for the Beach Smalls Challenge at the Quilt Guild. And of course, I just uncovered something that I completed that I forgot about, because it was not on my 2024 plan. Of course, neither was the dress, but it came about because I posted a Christmas tree, one of those porcelain ones that you put that lights up, and I said, I want one of those. And somebody said, well, you're crafty, you can do that. There's a huge difference between painting snow on a porcelain Christmas tree in a manner that I would like, and me sewing something. And, you know, cross stitch was my original thing, and I've now gotten back into, well, I've gotten into quilting. I did sew a lot of things throughout my life. And so I thought I'd make a Christmas tree. So I could have a Christmas tree that was all done. And this is Crazy Quilt adjacent, because it has, you know, buttons. The material is here in no organized pattern, but it's only even Crazy Quilt adjacent because they're all like triangles. But I did quilt it. And most of the material is from stash, but not this cool Christmas tree material, which spoke to me so loudly that I wanted to add it to this. And I have one more button to put here at the top. So that is something else I did in the year 2024. Heck, I did it in December. I started and finished it in December, so I'm really quite proud of that. Did I leave a safety pin in? I left the safety pin in. Well, there you go. So back to plans for 2025. I have done, this is technically, I did this for 2 reasons. I wanted to participate in the Quilt Guild Challenge, to have something up on the wall where everyone will have their things that are beach laid on the wall. And my younger son, his nickname is Sebby the Crab, and it's got a crab on it, so this will ultimately go to him. And he commented, oh great, another thing for my walls. I have no wall space left. But I hardly ever make things for my older son, but I am making something for him. Now, obviously, this is just a panel that I got, but it's a panel of all the national parks. Whoa, could not remember that. And I have it all pinned down because I you know, where there's these nice straight lines around Colorado, I could do that with a machine, but I don't know how well I could do Idaho with a machine. I'm not sure how well I can do Idaho by hand either, but I thought I might do that by hand. I don't know. And I also bought, this is like the biggest piece I've ever basted, and I even bought the base that's supposed to be dual basting. You iron it, and I didn't do it quite right, which is why I've pinned the life out of it. And of course, in between each of the national parks, that I'm going to do by machine. It's nice square pieces, but you have to start in the middle of a quilt and work your way out even when you have it all basted. So we'll see what happens. So over here on my list for 2025, I'm going for 5 in 2025, or so I thought. Okay, so the first one is the crab for the show in April. The second one is the mat for the elder son. Then I put down 2 quilt tops for the guild. Then I might go back to that crazy quilt, to that camp quilt. And then there is the purple crazy quilt that I started. And I would really like to get further than this on this crazy quilt. So, because I've been to the Berwick Off-Way Ribbon Outlet in Gaithersburg, and that is worth 2 quilt tubes alone. I'm just going to say that I went there this time, and some of my haul for my crazy quilt were these buttons. These buttons are awesome. So I would like to actually finish one of my crazy quilts so I can start another crazy quilt. Yeah, I know, just a little crazy. But I think 5 is a much more reasonable number for 2025. But if you were counting, that was actually technically 6 already. So that is 2024 in review as far as I can remember today. And my plans for 2025. I hope that